Pest of cashew. Cashew, Anacardium occidentale. Anacardiaceae is a very important foreign exchange earning crop of India. It was originally introduced into India from Brazil by Portuguese travelers during 16th century, mainly for checking soil erosion on the coast. Cashew is now widely grown in tropical climates and it has very well adapted to the Indian conditions. Now, India is the largest producer, processor, consumer, and exporter of cashew in the world. Pest infestation is a major constraint in cashew production. It is attacked by a number of insect pests during different stages of its growth and development. More than 50 species of insects are known to be infesting cashew in India in different degrees of intensity. However, when the extent of damage is taken into account, only 5 are considered to be major pests. They are stem and root borer, tea mosquito bug, leaf miner, hairy caterpillar, Apoderus. The other minor pests include thrips, leaf and blossom webber, and mealybug. Placidarus ferruginous, commonly called cashew stem and root borer, order Coleoptera. It is the most serious pest of cashew as its damage results in death of trees. As an internal tissue borer, our infestation was up to 40% in different periods and severely attacked the trees die within a period of 2 years, causing substantial tree loss. The borer has one generation per year. The adult is a medium-sized reddish-brown long-horned beetle. The female beetle lays 60 to 90 eggs. They prefer to lay eggs on old trees that have rough bark with more cracks, on trees either damaged by stem borers on the previous season or by physical actions like heavy pruning. The eggs are laid into the live tissues on the recesses of the loose bark in the trunk or exposed portion of the roots above the soil. The eggs are whitish, ovoid in shape, measuring about 3 mm in length. Looks like rice grain. The egg period varies from 4 to 7 days. The egg hatch out as tiny grub which bore into the fresh tissues of the bark. The grubs feed inside the tissue for 4 to 7 months. The grown up grubs are off-white in color, measuring about 7 to 10 cm in length. Symptoms of damage. Stem borer infection could be easily identified by the presence of stem bore holes at the collar region. The extrusion of frass like coils, the dusty powder through the holes at the collar region, oozing of gum at the base of cashew tree trunk. The grubs that hatch out bore into the bark and feed on the subepidermal and vascular tissues. Maintenance of field sanitation by clogging the interspace in cashew plantations. Destruction and disposal of dead and infested trees from the garden. Annual collection and destruction of pests in all life stages. Then remove grubs from early stage infested trees and drench the damaged portion with chloropyrifos or neem oil 5%. Heloptilus antoni, commonly called the tea mosquito bug, is an important and most serious pest of cashew in India and causes more economic loss to the crop. Order Hemiptera. It is estimated that this pest alone causes 20 to 60% yield loss. It causes more than 30% economic loss by inflorescence blight and immature nutfall. The adult bug is reddish brown, about 6 to 8 mm long, with a black head, red thorax, yellow to black abdomen. Female bug lays eggs on the tender leaves of new shoots and soft tissues of inflorescence branches. Eggs are creamy white in color. Single female bug lays on an average 50 eggs. The egg to nymphal period is an average 5 to 27 days. The adult usually feeds during early hours and makes about 150 feeding punctures per day. The eggs normally hatch out as nymphs. Young nymphs feed on tender leaves which later become necrotic. The nymphs are wingless and smaller but otherwise resemble the adults. The young nymphs are orange colored and ant-like with long legs. The life cycle is completed in 90 to 87 days. Alternate hosts: guava, coca, cinchona, neem, cotton, apple, grapes, drumstick, black pepper and jamun. Symptoms and damage. Both nymphs and adults of this merid bug suck sap from the tender tissues, young shoots, inflorescence, panicles, growing young nuts and apples. This insect's toxic saliva into the plant parts, which causes death of vascular teeth, resulting dieback symptom till appear. This insect's toxic saliva into the plant parts, which causes death of vascular tissues, resulting dieback symptom will occur. Occurrence of dark brown patches on green tender stem of young shoots and inflorescence, feeding on tender leaves, causing wrinkling and damage. Management and control. Remove the volunteer self-sown neem plants in and around cashew plantations. Proper monitoring of the pest situation is very important. 3 spray schedule should be followed. First spray monocrotophos. Second spray carbaryl. Spray well in advance before the insect damage to the crop. Through foliar coverage is a must. The same insecticide should not be repeated in the second round. Avoid indiscriminate use of synthetic pyrethroids, as it causes flare-up of sucking pests. The sprayings should be done before 9 am or after 4 pm in order to save non-target pollinators. The eggs of the mosquito bug are naturally parasitized by Telenomus and Erythnelus haloptelidis. Spiders of Oxyopus and Hylas are efficient predators and feed on nymphs and adult mosquito bug. Red ants should be encouraged in cashew plantations as it will repel the tea mosquito bug. During the outbreak situation, the management program should be launched on large-scale community basis. An attempt was undertaken in biocontrol of tea mosquito bug on cashew during using red ants in such a study covering cashew farmers field of Kannur district in Kerala. Then next insect, hairy caterpillar. There are plenty of hairy caterpillars feed on cashew leaves as well as flowers. Most of the hairy caterpillars are active and the body is suffused with black, red, white or yellow hairs rising from what's seen in a ring around the middle of each segment. They pupate inside a silken cocoon and are dark reddish brown. Biology. The adult is stout mouth existing sexual dimorphism. The female mouth fairly bigger than adult male. Male moths have a black patch with a small white spot on the center of 4 wings. The abdomen of the male is long and slender, whereas it is stout with tuft of anal hairs in female. The antennae of both male and female are pectinate. Mating generally take place after sunset. The longevity of adult ranges from 2 to 7 days. Eggs laying period within 24 to 36 hours after mating. The moth lays eggs in clusters on the lower surface of cashew foliage or on the tender twigs. The oviposition continues for about 48 hours. Its fecundity ranges from 180 to 300 with an average of 250 eggs. Eggs are spherical in shape with ash grey to black in color with an average diameter of 1.83 mm. They adhere to each other closely. The eggs hatch in 9 days. The larval period is 40 to 45 days. The larvae start spinning a silicon cocoon on leaves with brown silk and larval hairs, and then the larvae pupate inside. Pre-pupal period takes 2 to 3 days and the pupal period ranges from 12 to 18 days. The total life cycle would be 55 to 75 days with an average of 66 days from egg to adult. Symptoms of damage. Severe defoliation by Hirtaka results with only bare branches. Early instars are gregarious feeders of tender foliage and full-grown caterpillars feed voraciously on mature leaves as well. During daytime, they congregate in large numbers on the ground under dry leaves near the base of the tree. in crevices of bark or lower parts of well-shaded branches and feed voraciously on foliage during night. These hairy caterpillars scrape the green tissue when young and start defoliating the leaves and inflorescence branches, and also feed on the shell of the nut in the tender green stage and tender apples. Management: dig out and destroy the pupae from the field buds and shady spots prior to summer rains. Set up 3 to 4 light traps and bonfires immediately after the receipt of rains after sowing in the rain-fed season to attract and kill the moths and also to no brood emergence. Collect and destroy gregaries, early install larvae on lace-like leaves of intercrops such as a red gram and cowpea. Collect and destroy egg masses in the cropped area. Avoid migration of larvae by digging a trench 30 cm deep and 25 cm wide with perpendicular sides around the infested fields. Apply any one of the following insecticides: Phosalone dichloros and leaf miner. Eggs are tiny, transparent and glue-like, laid on the upper side of tender leaves. Dull white to reddish brown small caterpillars can be seen within the feeding mines. Pupation takes place in soil within silken cocoon. The adult is tiny silvery grey moth with red eyes. Leaf miners is one of the serious pests of cashew during post-monsoon flashing period all over the country. Eggs are laid on upper side of the tender leaves which hatch in 5 to 7 days. During the development period, larvae are dull white in color. Full-grown caterpillars measure about 5 to 7 mm in length and reddish brown in color. After full development, the larvae fall off to the soil where they pupate and emerge as adult moths after 7 to 9 days. Seasonality: the incidence is most common in post-monsoon flushes during August to December, reaching in peak during October-November, but incidence can be seen up to April at low level. Symptoms of damage: start mining the epidermal layer on the upper surface of the tender cashew leaves. As a result of feeding, the affected areas form blistered patches of grayish white in color. As the infested leaves mature, the damage is manifested as big holes. Nursery seedlings and young plantations are more prone to the infestation of this pest than the older ones. Spray monocrotophos during the month of October-November at new flush emergence stage. Neem oil spray are also effective.